Hey guys, I'm a 14-year-old who likes to review movies, and my name is Miles Shepard. Today we're talking about the made-for-TV adaptation of his novel, Salem's Lot. That's backwards on the camera. I'm just now realizing that as I'm looking at it. But I'm not going to edit it because I suck at editing. Even though I took a middle school class for it. So, I just watched this movie last night. I finished reading the book. Watching a book. I finished reading the book about a week or two ago. 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago. So, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I had some flaws with it, but I mean, I don't really look for flaws when I read a book. I mostly just do that when I'm watching a movie. And I watched the movie last night, and technically a little bit into this morning, because it's 3 hours. It's a long movie. And I'm going to get into the good things about it. I'm going to save the bad things for the end, because I have a lot of things I don't like about it. But let's talk about the good things. Well, the acting for a made-for-TV adaptation was actually pretty solid. This was back when some acting was good. I was going to say all, but then I remembered The Room. Haven't seen it, but I've seen enough. So yeah, it was pretty solid. The first and second act were really good. I was intrigued. And they changed enough things from the book where I didn't know what was going to happen, you know? Kind of like with the Green Mile. I just got this yesterday, or a couple days ago, and I'm excited to watch it. Kind of like the Green Mile. How I love that movie. It's one of my favorites, but they basically changed nothing from the book. Like, nothing. I knew what was fixed to happen. It's one of my favorite books. I'll have to do a review on that sometime. But yeah, it's one of my favorite books, and one of my favorite movies. So they basically changed nothing. But with this, they changed enough things in the first and second act to where I knew like all the big plot points that were gonna happen, but I didn't really know what was gonna happen, like the little stuff in between. And I liked that. You don't really see that nowadays. Usually it's like they change it a lot or they just change it a little bit. So I liked that. Yeah, so the acting was solid. The first and second act were really good and entertaining. And the vampires in this, they actually look creepy. I'm probably going to rewatch this video in 2 years. I'm going to be like, wow, you're a chicken, Miles. They don't look very creepy at all. But they don't go over the top with the vampires, you know? They kind of just put some makeup on it, put some of that thing in their eye, contacts in their eye that makes their pupils change colors. Sorry, I was born dumb. I don't know what that part's called with the eye color. But they changed enough things to where it was good, you know? And it looked actually scary. I already said this, but once again, I'm not editing this because I suck at editing. So yeah, they changed. Where's I going with this? Should I edit this? No. But yeah, so they put some makeup on them to make them look pale. I'm gonna cringe at that one day. But yeah, they made it to where they looked pale, and they changed their eye colors, and they looked scary. And not a lot of horror movies scare me. Like, I have Aliens 1 through 4. I've only seen 1 and 2, though. And that movie didn't scare me. But this one actually made me jump. Now, I probably should have seen most of the jump scares coming, but I didn't because I'm dumb. So, yeah. The vampires actually... Oh, please don't fall. The vampires actually look scary. So that's good. And this movie made me jump a few times, like I said. So, now it's time to talk about the bad things. Which pretty much, almost all of them, all take place in the third act. but I'm going to get to that in a second. So, this is probably a really dumb criticism because it's a movie about vampires, but Ben Mears and his girlfriend relationship, it's not real at all. It is not real. You are never going to find a girl in the park and go over to her and be like, that's a good book, you know I wrote that? And be like, hey, wanna have dinner with me? She'd be like, yeah, sure. That would never happen. Never. Maybe like the 1950s when everyone's nice, but not today or back when this was made. They look at you weird and be like, hey, I just remembered my mom told me I gotta be home at this time because I gotta help her. Sorry, nice talking to you. And then they would leave, and it'd be a story they would tell around the campfire about a creepy guy. But, nope, they get into a relationship, and it's so unreal. Like I said, it would never happen. So yeah, that's one of the points. And then again, it's probably dumb because this is a movie about vampires. But it's a negative I had with it, so I'm just going to include it. And now it's time for the third act. Like I said, the first act, the second act, they were solid. I liked them. The third act, on the other hand, completely sucked. It almost ruined the movie. While I was watching the first and second act, I was thinking to myself, I actually kind of like this better than the book. And notice how I said, when I was talking about how they made some changes that were good, the first and second act, the changes were good. Didn't say the third. That was on purpose. Because they took away all the stuff that made the book interesting. For example, in the book, spoilers for the book, when they realized, oh yeah, there actually are vampires, Ben Mears, as his school teacher, and the priest, and some other people, they all join together. And they have like a little team. And it's interesting. It's what made the book good. Not just that, other things too, but it was one of the things that made the book good. And then, that never happens. The most team thing you get is Ben Mears, the girl's dad, and then, what's his name? I forgot his name. The boy. And it was really disappointing, because that was what I was looking forward to. And also, one of my favorite parts from the book, where they get captured, him and Ben Mears' girlfriend, the boy, not him. This is really bad, I'm not going back and editing it. I'm too far. So, yeah, that was one of my favorite parts, where the boy and Ben Mears' girlfriend get captured by the vampires dude and that creepy house. It was just so underwhelming. You know, in the book, the boy kind of whacks the guy on the back of his forehead and he runs away. That doesn't happen. It's not interesting at all. He just runs and Ben Mears is like, oh hey, why are you in that house? And then the boy just goes back in there with him, and you're like, why would you do that? So yeah, there's that. Like I said, they took away, I'm just rethinking of things. I'm trying to build up the runtime, even though I probably shouldn't. But yeah, that was it. And all the vampires look good, except for the main guy, Stryker, what's his name? Or no, Barlow was his name. And it was kind of obvious it was a mask. It was just so obvious. And the third act of this movie really did just ruin it for me. I'm just gonna be honest. It was ruined. It was still a good movie. I'll probably rewatch it sometime. But the third act, it was like this close to ruining it. I mean, it was so close. And because of the third act, I like the book better than the movie. Because the book was more interesting and intriguing than this movie. And by this movie, I mean its third act. Because as I was watching it, the IMDb, whatever it is, score is like 6.9 or something low like that. I was like, this was a good movie. why would you rate it that low? And then the third act came along and I was like, oh, that's why. Now, if you follow my Instagram, which is _MDSFlix_, I said that if this was a video review, it'd probably be a rant. But I can't do that because people are still awake in my house, and my mom would come in my room in the middle of this video and be like, why are you yelling? And I'd be like, because of this movie. That's why I'm yelling. But yeah, a pretty solid movie, except for the third act. I'm probably forgetting some things, but that'll come to me later. I'm like, why did you put that in there? But I'm going to give this movie a B-. It was really close to being a C. I was kind of thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? The first and second act was really good, so I'm just going to leave it as a B-. So yeah, thank you for watching this. If you cringed as much as I will when I rewatch this, please subscribe, and like, and share with your friends, because I'm lonely and have none. And you'll probably be able to tell that I didn't edit this because I suck at editing. And yeah, if I ever do get someone to edit it, it's going to be one of my friends. I'm going to pay them nothing. Alright, bye.